The instant Laura Donnelly finally broke her silence and confessed that there was a side of Sam Heughan fans were never meant to see, the air in the room seemed to lock in place, like a truth long buried had just been pulled into the light. The way her voice lowered, calm, steady, almost relieved, made everyone lean in, because it didn't feel like a playful story. It felt sharp. It felt heavy. It felt like something that could completely rewrite how millions of Outlander fans see their legendary Highland warrior. She didn't laugh it off. She didn't soften the edges. She didn't dance around it. She went straight for the part no one expected her to touch. And in that moment, the atmosphere shifted, thick and charged, like the quiet right before a rumor explodes across the internet and refuses to be contained. Laura said that behind Sam's flawless hero image, beyond the charm and the easy smile fans adore, there exists a version of him only the cast truly knows, messier, wilder, more unpredictable than the polished persona the world is shown. She hinted that this hidden side doesn't always make filming smooth, and it doesn't always fit the heartthrob fantasy people cling to. Looking straight ahead, eyes steady, she admitted that some moments on set shocked even her. Not because Sam was difficult or unkind, but because he was so intensely himself that it caught everyone off guard. Those closest to him had to learn quickly how to ride that intensity without letting it swallow an entire shooting day. She described the first time she witnessed it. In the middle of a scene, Sam's energy suddenly shifted, flipping from razor-sharp focus into a storm of instinct and adrenaline. He began to improvise, to push, to bend the moment in ways no one saw coming. Crew members whispered. The director hesitated, torn between calling cut or letting the chaos unfold. Laura said she stood there frozen, unsure whether she was watching Sam Heughan the actor or Sam Heughan the force of nature. In that instant, she realized this electric, unrestrained side of him was something fans would never believe unless they saw it with their own eyes. Then she revealed what truly sent a ripple through the room. It wasn't a one-time thing. It happened again and again. During high-pressure scenes, during emotional breakdowns, even during quiet conversations meant to be simple. Sometimes Sam's intensity lifted everything around him, turning a moment into something unforgettable. Other times, it created a tension that lingered long after the cameras stopped rolling. Laura said there were days when he pushed himself so hard that the cast worried he was carrying more weight than he admitted. That the pressure of being Jamie Fraser, a global icon fans obsess over, was seeping into his real life in ways he didn't fully acknowledge. She spoke about the emotional hangovers, the sudden mood shifts, the exhaustion he tried to hide. Once, after an especially heavy scene, Sam walked away without a word, not angry, not hurt, just overloaded, like he needed to outrun his own shadow for a moment. Laura said that this raw, vulnerable side of him is something only those closest to the set ever witness. Because to the world, Sam is endlessly strong, endlessly charming, endlessly composed. But the truth, she insisted, is far more complicated, far more human, and far more startling than fans imagine. From the very first second Laura Donnelly began to talk, no one expected the honesty in her voice when she admitted there were things about Sam Heughan on the Outlander set that fans were never meant to hear. The way she said it, half amused, half worn, completely unfiltered, felt like the kind of confession that makes you lean closer, sensing the drama hidden beneath the softness. Like a secret she had carried for years and was only now brave enough to unwrap in front of the world. And when she dropped her first hint, the room seemed to change, as if this truth had been buzzing in the air since season 1, waiting for someone to finally say it out loud. She said Sam was nothing like the flawless, untouchable hero people had built in their minds. That behind the calm confidence and camera-ready charm lived someone far more complicated, funnier, and surprisingly chaotic. As she painted that picture, it stopped sounding like a simple anecdote and started feeling like a glimpse behind the curtain, into the man behind the legend, the presence she knew before fame wrapped itself around him. Laura admitted that one of the most shocking things about Sam is his ability to shift the atmosphere of an entire room without even trying. Sometimes in the best possible way. Sometimes so intensely that even the crew has to pause and recalibrate. Not because he's difficult, but because he's so present, so charged with restless energy that you can feel it even in silence. She described standing next to him and feeling the space fill with ideas, jokes, impulses, and a kind of childlike excitement that makes him both magnetic and unpredictable. She laughed as she recalled days when Sam showed up with that unmistakable spark in his eyes, the look that told everyone something was about to happen. Maybe he'd suddenly improvise a line. Maybe he'd break into a Scottish folk song during rehearsal. Maybe he'd tease someone with such perfect timing that the entire cast lost character and the crew had to reset the shot. And she said, still smiling, that sometimes his charm was almost dangerous, because it pulled everyone into his orbit before they realized it, making it impossible to stay annoyed at him, even when he was the reason a scene had to be redone 15 times. The more she spoke, the clearer it became that she wasn't just describing a co-star. She was describing someone who shaped the heartbeat of Outlander in ways the audience has never seen. She told a story from early in the series, during a brutal, exhausting day when morale was fading and Sam suddenly flipped the entire mood. Not with a speech, but by doing something so absurd and unexpected that the whole cast burst out laughing. She refused to repeat the details, joking that some things should stay in Scotland. But you could hear in her voice that it was the kind of moment that becomes legend among a cast, a story they carry for years. Laura said Sam has an uncanny gift for making the hardest days feel lighter. But he also knows how to ground people when scenes turn emotionally heavy. She described how, once the cameras stop after an intense moment, Sam is often the first to check in, using quiet humor or a small gesture to help the other actor come back to themselves. She shared a moment when he stayed on set long after wrapping, just to make sure a cast member who had been crying through a dramatic scene felt okay before heading home. She leaned in for the part she knew fans would replay over and over. Sam, she said, doesn't realize how powerful his natural magnetism is. That he sometimes intimidates people without meaning to. Newcomers often don't know whether they're meeting Jamie Fraser or Sam Heughan. Laura admitted she's had to reassure more than one actor that he isn't scary, he's just incredibly Sam. And once people spend 5 minutes with him, the tension melts away, usually thanks to some ridiculous comment or goofy gesture that shatters the pedestal they put him on. Then she revealed something even more intense. Sam's work ethic, she said, can be overwhelming to witness up close. He pushes himself in ways that make others worry, especially during physically demanding scenes. There were days he insisted on take after take, even when everyone agreed the moment was perfect, because he wanted to feel it in his bones. She recalled watching him walk away from the monitors, shake his head, and call for another round despite bruises from the previous takes. To her, his dedication was both inspiring and frightening, the kind that comes from someone who carries every expectation, every responsibility, every story beat as if he personally owes the audience perfection. And then she softened. She talked about the quiet moments between takes, when Sam would sit on the grass, still in costume, eating snacks like a kid at a picnic. The same man who could command a set with intensity could, minutes later, look completely ordinary. And that, Laura said, might be the most surprising truth of all.